most of the products have a startup solution. So in order to find the startup solutions, you can go to the Start menu. We'll go to All Programs. Let's go to Infragistics, NetAdvantage, and let's take a look at Windows Forms for starters. And you'll notice here we have the WinForms Startup Solution. I'll go ahead and open that up, and Visual Studio will start. And you'll see we have a nice welcome page, which gives a little bit of information. But the crux of the startup solution is if you go ahead and run it, you'll see that we have a welcome and then a list of key controls on the right hand side. Each one of these key controls maps to a form which has some instruction on how to get started with that particular control. So for example, if I go to hierarchical editing, you'll see we have the hierarchical editing to-dos. The first one is set the UltraGrid display layout override, allow add new property, fire the UltraGrid.AfterRow update, browse the events to review the events and take a look at how you'd actually implement some of this code, and then at runtime try deleting the rows and the bands. So if we go ahead and close that down, we'll close this. Let's go to the WinGrid, and you'll see here we have our hierarchical editing example. Let's open that up, and let's take a look at the code. If I scroll down, you'll see we have some various commented regions, and then within the regions we have some code with the to-dos. So for example, on the AfterRow update, the table adapter has actually already been configured. What we want to do is call the update on the controls. So all you really need to do is sort of read the instructions, uncomment the code, and go ahead and run it again, and you'll see the results of your actions. The idea is to get you familiar with the API, get you familiar with working with the controls. If I hover over the areas, you can see this one has some additional to-dos in the AfterRow insert, in the AfterRow deleted, and you can go ahead and comment areas out and sort of see how the control works and the result of your editing. Now if I go back to the Start menu, All Programs, go back to Infragistics, NetAdvantage, you can see here if I jump to WPF, for example, WPF has startup solutions as well. You'll experience the same thing. So if I go ahead and run this startup solution, you'll see that I have a bunch of different controls on the left hand side. I can select the controls, view the code. Again, I have some to-dos, just like the Windows Forms. If I drill into a particular form, for example, I can look at the form, read the to-dos, jump into the code, scroll down, look at all the to-dos in the code, uncomment it out, and see the results. So there you have the startup solutions. As you can see, they do give you a good starting point to understand and learn the API of the controls as you're beginning to understand how to build applications using the Infragistics product. Thanks for watching.
Infragistics. On the web at infragistics.com.